In this video, I'm going to be doing another Pretty Little Liar episode review, and this episode is called Fresh Meat. So it opens with Toby, in this police, in a jail, and he goes up to the guard, and for some reason, she's, really rude to him, and I just wanted to know, why? Why was he even there? I think he was dropping off some sort of paper. And then as he's walking, to leave, he sees Allison, and she's just sitting in the hallway on a bench in the middle of the jail for some reason. And they have, a quick conversation, and she basically tells him that all the other girls are in danger, or they might be, killed also. And the next scene, it's Toby at the school with the girls, in the courtyard. And he's in his cop uniform, and I guess it's normal in Rosewood to have cops show up at your school, even though I think I missed something, because isn't Toby 17, 18 too? How did he become a police officer? Did he get his GED when he was in juvie or something? I think I missed that. I don't know what happened. If you know, comment below to, you know, update me on how that happened. And in the next scene, it's Emily and Aria, and they're in the art room, and they're talking about college and how Emily is missing Paige. And I kind of like what the writers did, because Emily says something like, "Oh, I need to make more money, and my mom won't even let me touch my college fund." And it just, to me, it's a reminder that these girls are still in high school, because it just sounds really crazy to use your college fund to go across the country to visit some girl in some relationship that's probably over. And then they have this scene with Jason and Mrs. Marin, and he finds out that she's been sending out her resume to other places because she doesn't want to, she gets a better opportunity or something. And I just love how Jason's can you at least give me a month to feel like I belong here? And it just kind of made me think of Allie, because he's just kind of manipulating her. And it's what did Jason and Allie's mom teach these kids to just always know what to say to get people to always do what you want them to do? And the next scene is Toby in his cop uniform. And he finds the murder weapon, which is you find out in the next scene that it's actually his knife. And more than any other more than any other season, I feel like everyone in the season is losing their mind. Everyone's always going crazy, and Caleb's back after his whole Ravenswood thing, and he's disturbed now. And I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be a really good season finale where everyone just goes off the deep end or something. And in the next part of the show, it's the guy who moves into Spencer's house. I mean, Spencer's garage or something, or barn. And he goes he's fixing a sign in the bookstore, and he asks Aria if his sign is even, and she's like, yeah, it is. And he just goes, "Wow, you're a really good liar." And she just kind of gives him this look she didn't seem offended by it, which was weird. It was she's yeah, I am. That's why they call me, a pretty little liar. And um and back to the Aria applying to different schools. She finds out she got rejected from Talmadge, which is supposed to be an easy school to get into, I guess. And she tells Ezra, and he's like, "Oh, it's because my ex, Jackie, is the admissions counselor or something." Oh, is he? So, after Ezra tells her that his ex is the admissions counselor, she goes back and writes this letter that's like, Ezra, no, she's like, I wasted my youth with an older guy, and I didn't experience a lot of high school things that normal high schoolers get to experience or something. And I thought that was really, like, weird. Like, it was just rude. And then she sends the letter, and then she talks to Emily about it, and Emily's like, tell me you didn't send this. And she did send it, and Jackie did read it, and she drives all the way out to the school, and Jackie's like, what are you doing here? And she tells her, and she's like, oh, well, I read the letter. Like, it was really suspicious because Jackie was like, oh, don't worry about it. I realized Ezra was a waste of my time. And she just kind of, like, brushed it off. And Arya's like, yeah, okay, I'll believe you. That's fine. And I guess she thinks they have this really, like, girl power moment. But it's really suspicious. Oh, another question I have is Caleb in school too? Like, Toby and Caleb, I don't understand their, like, what they're doing. Did they graduate early or something? Did they just drop out of school? I don't know. And in the next scene, it's Hannah, and she's, like, at Holbrook's dad's trailer park. And I'm like, did she just, like, Google his address and decide to go out there? It was really weird. And she, like, gets out of her car and she goes deep into the nasty looking trailer park. And when she comes back to her car, it's like her teddy bear that she had, like, she opened it and, like, guts came out of it. I don't know why they included that. I'd like to know why, because it was gross in every way. It was just nasty. But I knew that the teddy bear was going to have some significance because when she was, like, on her college tour, she was kind of, like, holding it around. And if you're going on a college tour in high school, you're not going to be, like, carrying around your teddy bear. Not in public, at least. You're going to have it, like, deep in your bag. Oh, and another thing, like, when she went to Holbrook's dad's trailer, when he came out, he was like, I thought you were out on bail. And she's like, no, I'm on a college tour. And that kind of made me think, like, did he think she was Allison? And it's like, I understand his son is, like, in Rosewood and the police or detective, whatever. And, like, but how would he, like, know Allison that well to be like, aren't you, like, supposed to be locked up? I don't know. I don't trust Holbrook or his dad. And then we cut to Spencer and Caleb in the forest, in the dark, and by some magical way, they find the knife in the forest, in the dark, covered in leaves. And then in the next few scenes, Emily meets, like, the new caterer who she's really rude to, and then Spencer and Caleb try to, like, get rid of the knife in the kiln at their school, which, how did they even get in their school? Like, or is that their school, or did they have, like, a secret key or something? I don't know, but that was suspicious. And then in a weird turn of events, Hannah visits Allison in jail. And they have this conversation, and Allison goes, I could have thrown you guys all under the bus, but I didn't. And I'm just like, why? Why didn't you throw them under the bus? What kept you from doing that? Because, like, if your friend sent you to jail, like, I would snitch. And then, like, Allison's like, if I was A, why would I let this happen to me? And I guess Hannah, like, starts to realize that Allison being A doesn't really make sense. And then she's like, well, if you are A, you're trying to, like, you're trying to hold on to that last bit of me who cares, but it's not going to work. And then as she's going out of the jail cell, you see her face, and she's just like, okay, maybe we've made a mistake. Maybe she really isn't A, because what she's saying does make sense. But I think she just kept walking because she's like, it's Allison. She knows how to manipulate. It's Allison. She knows how to manipulate people, so you can't really trust her. And then in the next scene, it's Jason going to Mrs. Marin's house for like some after work thing that he was like confused about. And he like gives her this sad story that's like, my dad won't let me back in the house and boo hoo. And Hannah's mom is just like, have you eaten tonight? And she says it in like a mother, sweet mom way that's just like, oh, I need to take care of you. But then they end up hooking up, which was gross and unprofessional. Now we're back to the party, like the bookstore opening party, and as soon as Arya's like going through the door, she gets this email from Jackie that's just like, welcome to Talmadge, girl, you got in. And Arya's just like you can see she's so relieved, but it's like, that's a super red flag. Like, no one gets an acceptance letter from school that's like, welcome to school, girl, you got in. And then later on in the party, Arya actually finds a college book, and she's just like opening it, and she sees a bookmark, and it has like a sentence from that letter that she sent Jackie that says, I regret I squandered my youth with like some older man or something like that. And that's like A's first planting of that seed. Which is kind of weird. Like, I feel like out of all the secrets in Pretty Little Liars, that's the least, like, out of all the secrets in Pretty Little Liars, I feel like that's the least, like, world-shattering one. She should have just told Ezra. It wasn't, like, it would have been an uncomfortable conversation, but it wasn't like, this is going to kill our relationship if I tell him. And finally, the last thing we see is Allison in jail. And there's like another inmate like pushing a cart full of uniforms, and she hands Allie her uniform. And there's a note in the pocket. There's a note just like in the pocket. She didn't even ask the girl who was like pushing the cart, like, where did this come from? And it says, your friends will be here next or something. And Allie's just looking at the note like, well, what do you want me to do? I'm in jail. They are not listening to me, so there's nothing I can do about it. So that was my review and my questions about the episode Fresh Meat. And if you have any answers to my questions or any theories or any like guesses about what's going to happen next, put them below, because I'm always interested in hearing them, no matter how crazy they are. Like, you might think Mrs. DeLaurentis is still alive and she's like on the A team or something like that. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.